morning, Wes McDonald here, and I want to thank you for tuning in to another episode of Flat Rate World Live. It is Wednesday, March 23rd, and if you're like me, starting to get excited about some of these travel restrictions being eased so that we can actually get to some of the new shows that are coming up. I know here, I just had a friend that traveled down to the States from Canada, that there's still a requirement for a rapid PCR test, which is quite easy. It's literally 10 minutes at the Shoppers Drug Mart or other places. To be able to get to the States, but coming into Canada now, as long as you're fully vaccinated, there's no requirement for any testing. So I'm super excited about that. I cannot wait to get to some of the shows. As many of you know, I think the only show that I did last year was actually ITEX. We had a brief break in some of the restrictions. I did manage to get out to that show. The BTA Fall Colors event, unfortunately, I did not get to because they increased travel restrictions. So now that they are going away, I am super thrilled to be able to get to some of these shows. So I want to talk about a few of them. And as always, make sure that if you have questions or comments during the live stream, that you type them in, whether you're watching on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. StreamYard doesn't care. We don't care. Just leave your comments. And my good friend Kenneth Edmonds is not here this morning. He's actually traveling around the world somewhere else. And on that note, where are you from? So when you tune in this morning, let us know where you're actually watching from. We'd love to know that. This is an international show. Flat Rate Academy works with people in England and Australia, in the United States, in Canada. When we had our 10-day challenge, we had people from the United Arab Emirates. We had folks from all over Europe, and we'd love to know where you're from. So make sure you leave those in the comments. Yeah, and speaking of shows, let's see, we got one comment here who's tuning in. Good morning from a Facebook user. So hello, good morning to you. A note for Facebook viewers, we can't really see who you are. I don't know why Facebook blocks that, but they do. So if you want to let us know who you are, put your name in the thing and we can say hello in a little more personal fashion. Yeah, so one of the first shows coming up, I'm just going to actually share my screen now so we can talk about this one. And I'm not going to be going. And it has nothing to do with travel restrictions this time. As some of the viewers that stay with us on a regular basis know, I am moving. So we're leaving our lakefront property to be closer to where my wife Leslie has her store. And that's taking place in the first week of April. So I will not be able to make that show, unfortunately. Oh, it looks like my buddy Ken Edmonds might be tuning in from his shipyard paradise. Let's see if he's here. What's going on, my friend?
I am here. It is
we can't hear you, but we can see you. It looks
on
good,
the West Coast. Yeah.
But hey, Mr. Walters, good to see you, buddy. And sorry I missed your happy hour on Friday, but I guarantee you I'll be at the one coming up this Friday, and I'm really looking forward to that. So for him watching, Greg Walters, I'm sure you know him if you've been in the managed print space. You'd have to be living under a rock if you don't. And Greg is hosting happy hours on Fridays. I can't remember the time exactly. Maybe Greg will put that in for us so we can actually do a little shout out for him and for that event. Thanks for the calendar invite, Greg. You got it. And I'm locked in and ready to go. And Ken, can we hear you yet? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear me?
Oh, silence is golden. This is when I should be saying things to Ken that he can't answer back to, right? Like, Ken. I can't even think of anything mean to say to him. He's too nice, so I'm not even going to bother. What I am going to do is start sharing my screen, though, and talk about that first event. Oh, there we go, 4 p.m. Greg Walters, 4 p.m. CST. So make sure that if you want to be part of that happy hour, it's guaranteed to be some fun, and that'll be this Friday. So that's, I guess, officially the first event that we're talking about. The second event that I want to talk about, and again, because it cannot go this time. Oh, OJ says he can hear Ken just fine, so that's something wrong with my computer. Well, that's the way it goes. Give me 1 second here, Ken, and I will try and figure out why I can't hear you. Let's have a look here. And testing, 1, 2, 3. Kenneth Edmonds, can you speak and see if I can hear you? Nope, definitely something wrong with my computer. I'm sorry, Ken. I don't even know what to do. You can continue to talk, though, because apparently our guests can hear. So just don't talk to me. Talk to the people that matter, which are the guests. That's great. All right, so Ken, I'm going to put up the first event, which is coming up. Let's see if we can share here. And this is Spring Break 2022. And again, that's the first week of April, so I am not going to be able to make it, but would love to hear in the comments from people that are actually going to be going to that event. And I love the BTA events. It is one of the best places for learning in the management services channel simply that there is. And looks like right now there's still a 2-for-1 registration in there, so you can actually get in there and get that. And unfortunately, there's another show coming up, and I think they might be conflicting. So let me look at the dates here, because another one that I really, really want to get out to is the TAG Spring Break. And it's happening this year in Scottsdale, Arizona. I know that one of my coworkers is going to be attending that event. I just spoke with them yesterday, and they said they'll be heading out there. So for everyone that is heading out to the TAG event, enjoy that, and make sure you bring back some good learning for the rest of us folks that cannot be there. And what other events am I missing? Are there other events coming up in early April, that I can, that I don't happen to see on my thing here right now? The one that I am going to, I'm going to bring this one back up. I am going to see everybody in Chicago for sure. Hey, Cam, how are you, buddy?
I am fine. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. That's so weird. So it's a StreamYard thing. Well,
Well, I had to log out and log back in, but I got it fixed. Yes, in addition to you being there, I'll be there at the National in Chicago, so I'm looking forward to that. Be a long time since we've seen each other in person, which will be really cool. And I'm not going to be at the BTA's spring break either. I would love to have been there, but I had a conflict on my schedule, so that'll be the first one I've missed in a long time. But I for those of you that are listening that are in the dealer community, I would definitely buy out the time, spend a little bit of money to take yourself as a dealer principal, but include your service managers. So often service managers don't get included in attending these events, and there's so much information that helps them serve better in their role as managers.
Yeah. And, Ken, I think as well that, they have an opportunity to see directly some of the business challenges and mandates with some of these other companies, right? So they can have conversation with folks about things that might be challenging to them, or things that they think may help. And, it's a great community to be able to do that, right? Because until we get outside of our own four walls, it's very difficult for us to really expand our thinking, right? So definitely service managers, anyone I would say in a leadership role of any kind at the organization should probably get down to, one of these events, right? Yeah, and I can't wait for.
Oh, sorry about that. I was going to say I agree 100% with that. That it's so important that the management team, and it's important that the management team do things together. Too often it becomes little silos, and by including the managers, it improves communication. Does so much for the company.
Yeah, well, and Ken, if I'm not mistaken, I think one of the first times that we met was actually at an event, right? So, these sparks of partnerships and of new thinking and stuff really do happen at these things, and you got to make sure that whatever your role is, don't just think it's for business owners or for sales leadership roles. If you're in a service management capacity, service leadership, make sure you get out to those events too, right? Yeah, and as I mentioned, Ken, there are two competing events for the springtime, the TAG Spring Break. Unless I'm mistaken, it looks like the dates do overlap for those, which is too bad. And maybe I'm wrong. April 2nd to 1st for those that are going to go to the TAG events, and for the BTA, where are the dates here? Oh, I'm already in the Chicago show. Yeah, you know what else I love about Chicago? Just to get a little personal here, Gibson's Steakhouse. So the first time I ever had an aged steak was at Gibson's, and whenever I talk about going to Chicago now, all my wife hears is steak spice, because they actually sell their award-winning steak spice. You can actually buy it and take it home. So most people will, buy a bottle or two. I usually end up leaving the restaurant with 10 or 15 bottles because I don't know the next time that I'll be back. So it's always interesting when I go through customs and I have all of this steak spice. They definitely pay attention to me when I'm coming across from Chicago and Gibson's. What other events are coming up, Ken? Do you know of anything else? I know that those are kind of my big ones.
Those are the
At least,
two that I think about. I'm a huge fan of the BTA. I work with them. I will throw in one thing. This is a shameless plug. The next iteration of the Service Academy, which is the program that I teach in conjunction with the BTA for service managers, is going to start mid-April. So right now is a great time to be getting your service manager signed up. In this course, I've had people from the vice president of service to service supervisors. So that pretty much scans all of the management roles in an organization, attend this class, and every one of them has walked away talking about how much they learned. And for those that have been in their roles 15, 20 years, how much they wish they'd had that course earlier in their careers. So you want to sign up, that's you can find that on bta.org as well.
yeah, and actually I'll go back to the bta.org thing because I thought it came up in one of their banners there right away. I know that they had the BTA spring break. There we go. BTA Service Academy. Let me share my screen there again. Look at that. There you go. So that's all you have to do is get onto bta.org. There's a couple floating banners up there, but you can find it in other ways too. Click on it to learn more and to register, and off you go. So Ken delivers excellent training. He's one of the few people I know that actually really focus on the service component as much in the managed print world for off equipment dealers. So definitely something that you want to, be able to do if you can, if you can make it. That's great, Ken. And I'm not a service manager, but maybe I'll attend too.
Okay, I'll make you a special deal.
Hey, Ken. One of the other things I wanted to talk about here, and again, we were talking about sort of self-serving, things. I wanted to talk a little bit about Managed Print Certified. And we've just gotten a few more dealers that have actually received their accreditation. And if anyone out there is watching from Milner, congratulations on achieving yours. And I know that Jeff Bendix over at Bendix Imaging is in the process of getting his certificate sent off to him and quite a few others. I think we're up to 7 or 8 certs already, and it's only been live for, a couple of weeks, right? So this is something that I'm really proud of. And I think that folks should, if you're in the managed print space, think about Managed Print Certified as you would flat rate certified, right? That as we're trying to provide excellence to folks out there for managed print, but both internally and externally, right? And one of the things that, kind of got me excited over for a couple of the folks that have done the trust mark, they're making their employees go through it as well. So even though it doesn't get them any, additional accreditation or anything else, that they feel that the standard for Managed Print Certified is so good that they want their employees to move through it as well, so that they can determine their excellence and help them, to make sure that if they have areas that they're weak themselves, that through the testing they can actually get stronger, which I think is really cool, right?
Well, and if we think about that, both with flat rate certified and MPSA Managed Print Certified, all of these are just tools to improve and to you can say put on a different pair of glasses as you look at your business and trying to make sure that you get better, because the ones that are viral are the ones that are constantly working on improving, and certification is a piece of that.
Yeah. And it is as part of obviously you have to be an MPSA member to be able to get the accreditation, which is dead simple because it's a couple $100 to become a member. And it is so worth every single dollar of that, especially if you join some of the committees and do some of the work. What we've done in education, both the stuff we've done in updating some of the security challenges that are facing office equipment dealers, not just for print, but for any sort of network-related security stuff. That guide's available to members. We've had some incredible sessions with some industry leaders like Jay McBain over at Forrester Research, leading us through some of what's coming up in 2022 and beyond, how the channel is changing. That is a free resource, actually, that we've done for everybody. So you can access that either on LinkedIn or reach out to Ken and myself, and we can get you links for, some of that content, right? And we also had events from two other providers, one from Gap Intelligence, which is really good, that you can also get access to. And, just make sure you reach out to us to find out how you can actually, get hold of those, right? And Ken, this is going to be a short session today because, as you know, I am moving through selling my house, and literally the closing date is fast approaching, and I've got some lawyers to go visit today to sign some paperwork. So I'm pretty excited about that, and starting to get a little nervous at the same time. My wife and I and my kids are both it's starting to finally settle in that this house that they grew up in, since they were babies, we're not going to be here anymore, right? So it's a bit bittersweet, but always looking forward to new adventures. So excited to get out to the new place as well.
Yeah. And since you didn't hear me when we first started, I'm off to an interesting venture today. Right now, I'm in a DoubleTree in San Pedro. And for those that haven't been to San Pedro, it's a great place to visit if you're out in the LA area. We spent a couple of days here exploring. We spent a couple of days on Catalina. But I'm going to be in the first group of passengers on a brand new ship from Princess Cruise Lines. We'll be on the Discovery Princess here in just a few hours. Going to get a chance to explore and see this amazing ship. We saw her yesterday. We actually toured the battleship Iowa, which is parked right next door, and it's amazing the difference in size. In the old days, the battleship was a big ship, but compared to the new ships, it's tiny.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I mean, everything's relative compared to what it used to be, right? And yeah, I am astounded at essentially these floating cities, right, which these cruise ships are. Just absolutely stunning. So, well, that's fun. Well, I hope you enjoy yourself, Ken. And for everyone else that did join in this morning, remember to get out to some events. Make sure you continue your learning. And if you can, make sure this Friday, reach out to Greg Walters to find out about his happy hour. And for Ken and I, we will see you same time next week, Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Have a good one.